Okay, walking to take the flight back home. Been in Chamonix for the past, let's see, been in Chamonix for the last 3-4 days for UTMB. Not racing, but just kind of experiencing the whole thing that goes on, like a festival of running for the last week, with today at 6 p.m. being the main race, the UTMB, and at the moment CCC or OCC is going on, and it's kind of like there's something all the time, and it's become this kind of festival of running. This is a track that I'm on right now. It's probably one of the most beautiful tracks in the world, and that's just open to anybody. So there's guys on there playing basketball and somebody doing some running right now, and it's immense. It's such a beautiful place, but you kind of get the feel, or you can't help get the feel, that this is just a small mountain village in the middle of France. Just on the Swiss border, in the middle of France, just on the Swiss border, but in France, just on the Swiss border, that is famous for its skiing, and obviously in the last 20 years become famous for UTMB, and it's become sort of, maybe, I was always wondering what was the biggest, whether it was more important to win Western States, whether it was more important to win UTMB in the trail world, and all these different trail races you've got around, and there's so much variety, there's so much difference between this race, UTMB, the main race, 171k, I think, so over 100 miles. And then Western States, which is much more runnable, 14 hours, 15 hours, and much more of a runner's race. And I guess I've always had that respect, that I've always been a runner, and I've always loved running, and therefore this 21 hours in order to win this race just seemed a different type of running, and complete respect for it, complete respect for Kilian and what Kilian Jornet has achieved in the last 10 years, and just back-to-back wins, and then leaving the sport for a little, or leaving this race for a little bit, coming back and just not easily winning it last year, but quite comfortably winning it. And then this year, who knows? It's sort of wide open with Kilian not being in it. But he seems to be head and shoulders above the rest. Even last year when it was just a 10-minute victory. But I think second place is back. Matthew Blanchard. Tom Evans is back after winning Western States this year. Whether you can recover that quick and build up to doing something like this is another story. But what I've kind of experienced, I'm about to leave, which is, before the main event starts. For me, it's just been quite a shock being here. This is certainly not why I got into running in the first place. I got into fell running and cross-country racing and track and field in the UK, where it's kind of like £2 to turn up if you want to do a local race that is not part of your club, or you pay your membership £60 for the year, and then you've got loads of free races, and everything's organised in the UK for the amateur club system, and you've got 3,000-4,000 clubs in the UK, and then to come to something like this, which is 15,000 runners over the week, and 2,000 runners I think today at UTMB alone, and just to see the kind of what this has grown into. From speaking to people, I kind of get the feel from wherever they are in the world, whether it's Italy, France, Spain, Americans, the Americans love it now, and maybe that's partly down to what Jim has done and a few runners before him, but you kind of get a mixed bag of opinions from people, whether this is good or bad, and the overall thing is that it's necessary for the sport. Of all the races that I've done over the years, I've never been to a race that hasn't wanted to grow. I mean, obviously you've got races like Western States, like that have a limit because it's a national park, because they can't take it, and they're sold out, and they need to do a ballot, and they need to do golden ticket races, etc., etc. This kind of feels to me a little bit like when I've been at base camp at Annapurna or Everest, when you're speaking to people that are about to climb the mountain, that you've obviously got, you know, serious mountaineers there, but equally you've got people that have never really been in the mountains before that are about to climb the biggest mountains in the world, because a company will take their money in order to do that. It sort of feels like that when you speak to quite a lot of people here, people from Dubai that are training in Dubai to come and run in the mountains, like with serious elevation for UTMB, 10,000 meters elevation, or plus minus, whatever you want to call it, vertical. Sort of feels like a checkbox for a lot of people, and then you kind of walk through the expo and you need something for this and something for that, and you know, you need these poles, and you need this cream, and you need this nutrition, and you need this special, everything is special. And I've been here with Craft, and of course, you know, we've got a trail running shoe that we've been promoting, and there's companies out promoting trail running shoes, and of course you need the right shoes. Without a doubt, you need the right shoes. Do you need to be spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on your kit to run? I mean, for me, that's where sort of enters, I mean, it's Ironman that's taken it over, and it sort of enters that kind of territory where it's no longer a poor man's sport. It's no longer an easy entry level. Like cycling has become not an easy entry level to get into cycling. Yeah, you can find a $500 bike. You can find a second-hand bike for $500 that's a bit better, but entry point for cycling is much more. So the accessibility for kids to get into the sport and stuff like that, it's just different, I want to say, at this stage. I guess I'll have more thoughts as kind of I digest what's kind of gone on over the last 3-4 days over the next few days, so we'll see. But yeah, it's certainly an exciting environment. It's a weird feeling to be in a location where so many people are running, and I'm not going to be competing, and not because I'm injured, not because of just not because it's just not my type of terrain. It's not where kind of I excel, and I've just come off the back of a race and sort of recovering and building up mileage, etc. So yeah, it's a weird one, but yeah, the enthusiasm is there. The bars, the restaurants, the hotels, everywhere is packed. There's traffic through Chamonix, which is maybe it's the same as this in the ski season, I don't know. But everybody who's here will talk to you about running. Everybody's obsessed with running in some way, shape or form. So that's a great thing. And the more people that are out doing things, is brilliant. Again, I'll give you a last view of what I can see from here down in the valley. And then you've got these beautiful mountains over there. So yeah, it's a good place. See you later.